You won't win a betting if you play how the bookmakers want you to. You will win a betting if you follow this easy strategy. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, you can win too. Let's crack on with this. So we've called this video Sports Betting, the Easiest Way to Win. The first thing I want to mention is, do not start if you are lazy by nature. As you know, business doesn't function if a lazy person is running it. It's the same as this type of betting. If you lack discipline, you can't take a loss or you can't take a defeat, right? If you're compulsive by nature, a chaser, something like this, then it's probably better to stay away until you've got it sorted out. Emotional people really shouldn't be betting because, they use too much energy on the wrong things. If you think you're always unlucky with everything that happens, then probably betting's not for you. But obviously, it's all about mindset, so you can get your emotions in grip. If you're not financially secure, if you can't put the money to the side for betting, then it's probably better to stay away from it. But, hopefully you can see you wouldn't be betting in any case. And if you're not able to supply KYC documentation, that's know your customer. These are the forms and the ID cards or your passports or whatever to satisfy that you are that person. Bear in mind, it takes time and effort to win at betting. While this is a quick way, the more you put in, the more you learn, the more you earn. Now, I mentioned here that it's value betting because it is value betting. Sometimes it's value betting on both sides. It depends how you want to conduct it, but it's value betting and it's a numbers game. If you just place 10 bets, right, on a flip of a coin and you're getting positive odds each time, it doesn't mean you're going to win. If you do that same thing over 10,000 bets, you are going to win. Just think, the longer you play the game, the nearer it's going to get to that expected value. And that's the thing, it is all about the maths, expected value. What we are doing in this instance is we are reverse engineering the bookmaker's advantage and turning it into the punter's advantage. So by betting at odds that this software is going to pump out, you're going to be hopefully ahead of the bookmaker. So that's the thing, it is all about the mathematics. Anybody that tells you anything different is totally wrong. Obviously it's jurisdiction dependent. If you're living somewhere in Africa, obviously there's a lot of different countries in Africa, but it's you can still win. You just have to work with the bookmakers you've got. If you're in the US, you can probably be working with bonuses. Probably in certain parts of the States it's going to be better, but jurisdiction does matter. Now, being a Brit, I'm tending to look at the UK market, but none of it matters. You can win at betting, but it's just not one size fits all. At the end of the day, your only job is to extract profit from the bookmakers. They are your enemy. They are the people that you want to defeat. And bear in mind, bookmakers don't like winners. They like losers. Right? So once you become a winner, you can have a few issues, but you'll worry about that at a later stage. Now, it's important to do a little bit of money management in this instance. So create a betting bank. Basically, take money and put it aside for this purpose. You're going to deposit half of this betting bank in different accounts. So it's not all going in one account. So let's say you had 1,000, right? You're going to put 500 in different accounts. The reserve fund, the other 50%, is for reloading. Not all betting accounts will win. You'll find that some you are in big profit, some you're just over the border, some you're mildly losing, and others are wiped out. Those that are wiped out, you're going to have to refund them because at the end of the day, you still want to win with that particular bookmaker. And you're going to need a staking plan. Now we're going to discuss that in next week's video. So to get started, I want you to sign up to some value betting software. You can Google it, value betting software, or what I would recommend is that you get over to Rebel Betting, who offer a 2-week trial for free. Now, the link will be in the description. So make sure you hit the link, and then we can follow it, and we can support you a little bit if it comes to, if it gets to that need. Now, the important thing is, right, when you sign up, we want you to do it literally now, because you can go and learn the system before our next video, and then we're going to go into a deeper explanation. So when you're up in Rebel Betting, you're going to see a list of bookmakers that are available. Now, you've got to try to work out which ones are the most suitable for your purpose. So the first thing you're going to do is, when you go and you'll click the buttons to load those bookmakers for your jurisdiction. And then you're going to see obviously which ones are coming, focus on the value. And of course, you've already checked the availability. And by availability, I mean that, they are licensed locally to you, or you can at least get hold of them. So stage 2 is, I would suggest you start with circa 10 bookies. Now, you can do this in a paper format if you wish to. You can get onto Rebel Betting, you can click your 10 bookmakers that you can get hold of, and then you can just take all the expected value bets for a week or something like that until our next video comes along, and just see how they perform. You will see that you're in profit, or should be if you're clicking often enough. Now I'm going to suggest that you're going to search for the best bonus offer. Now, I don't know so much. I think bonus offers are pretty standard across the board nowadays. I think if Bet365 have got a lot of bonus offer like it's 100 quid, right, that's what it is. You're not going to find it at a different level on different websites. But it might be possible with some bookmakers. They do sort of give extra cherries to different affiliates, and then you want to click on them and you want to take the best bonus offer. But just research that a little bit. If you can get 100 quid instead of 50 quid, take it. So, like I mentioned, deposit 50% of your betting bank. So if you had 10 bookmakers, 5% of your betting bank would go with each. So, if you had like 10,000, obviously, right, then you would have 5,000 going out, and that would be then 500 in each account, yeah? And now what you're going to do is you are going to make positive expected value or arbitrage bets. Now, the arbitrage bets are a guaranteed winner. You're going to finish ahead. You can't possibly lose because you're betting one against the other. You're offsetting. It's just where you've got over the odds on both portions. But I would suggest that you actually concentrate more on value betting. Right, you will then not be giving any expected value back to the bookmaker by taking the very best odds. So, like I mentioned in other videos, it's a bit like you imagine that you get a flip of a coin where the odds of 220 on each, right? Then you can bet 100 on each, and whichever one comes, you're going to get 220 back. Now, the problem is an arbitrage bettor would still bet. If that was 220 and 190, they would still bet the 190, whereas the true odds are 2, so you're giving the value back. So just bear that in mind. I would suggest that if you've got enough funding and if you're steady enough, mentally, right, then stick with the value betting. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to use the value betting on the Rebel Betting platform. So we're going to do everything there. I'm not going to explain it to you now in depth because, I want you to actually learn a little bit first, and in a week's time we'll pick up on a new video, and you're going to see what I'm suggesting for like settings, which bookmakers, how to profit, charts, things like this, and show you. But that's why I want you to get across to Rebel Betting, because it'll be advantageous. So things that you will need to know, I mean, if you're a professional gambler, if you're winning money, right, and also if you're paying for software, right, you've got to think it's like going to a buffet. If you go to a buffet and you just had a meal before, you're not going to eat much of that buffet, are you? So it's going to be poor value. So, just think about it like this. If you have paid for that service, right, you want to literally use it and use it and use it, even within that sort of 2-week period. What I would suggest to you is you learn to sort of click, right? I will show you what type of bets to place and what type of bets not to place. But in the meantime, you can do the click and you can appease yourself that it actually works and it churns out a profit for you. Now, with bookmakers, one of the little secrets is don't ask for a payout until accounts are limited. The reason you don't ask for any payout until the account's limited is because it triggers a response. They pass it over then to another department before they pay out, and then they start looking at your bets, see that you're profitable, and say, well, that's it, then you pay him out, but he's not going to get any more bets here. So you literally, you're telling them that you're winning, and you shouldn't be. You should be trying to keep it a secret as long as possible. So you take payouts when you start being limited or stopped, right? So as I mentioned earlier, you use your reserve fund for reloading losing accounts. And make sure that your KYC documents are ready. If they can ask you for anything excessive, in the UK they're not supposed to. They say that when you join, all the documents should have been supplied, but they might ask you for something else at a later stage. It depends on which country you're in, depends on which bookmakers. But they are full of shit, and you just need to make sure that you've got any type of documentation with your name, address and bank accounts, whatever they need to satisfy a payout. And I would also suggest when you're on that platform, write down the list of bookmakers that you can get hold of. And once you've searched the best 10, that are giving you ultimately a good start, right? Have your next sort of 5 ready. So when one sort of you get blocked from one, or you get limited on one, then you can add another one, and so on. Or as you get fresher, as you get better at this, as you get other accounts from different people, you can start to consider how to rack it up a little bit, right? Just as a small little tip, I would really suggest that you pay attention to US sport because it's got great liquidity and the juice, the margins, right, they're there to be taken. Now, the thing is with football, soccer bets, right, they all tend to be sort of focusing on what's happening in Asia. With US sports, it's a little bit different. It's a bit more sort of scattered between, you've got some of the shops in the US, you've got the pinnacles, you've got the exchanges. But you'll find a lot of juice, and I'll tell you where you'll find a lot of juice is in like the player markets and things like this, and you'll be able to get a decent bet on. So that's in the evening for us Europeans, but it's something that might help you. Now, it is inevitable that winning accounts will get limited or closed, so just think it's part of the deal, right? Just remember you had nothing before, so anything's a bonus, and just see it like that. Honestly, just be pragmatic about your betting, right? They're going to get closed, but take advantage first. So as you progress, I just want to mention these things. We'll go through them pretty quickly because, at the moment I'm assuming that most of you are relatively, not newbies, but probably not profitable gamblers. But, if you get to the stage where you are profiting and you have learned a little bit, then it's time to sort of rack it up a little bit, right? And at that stage, I would suggest that you grab a 2% Betfair account. These are possible in the UK at least. I think you've got to place like about 40-50 bets the month before, and then you automatically qualify for it. So you only have to place like 50 bets with like £2 each, and you've got a 2% betting account for next month. It's pretty good. You can use it for your value betting, but you'll also be able to use it for other stuff. I would also consider looking at betting shops because they don't have any name attached to the bets. Betting terminals in some countries, I use them quite often. You can hide bets, you've just got to know what to play, stay below the radar, don't put big sums on. Different terminals, nice and soft, and you can take advantage. Look further afield. See if you can get bookmakers elsewhere in different countries. You've got to look at licensing, legalities and things like this, but maybe look for contacts. But try to open your eyes a little bit and see what's around you. And When I say go each way thieving, now this is horse racing. There's a way to do it. Just tap it into Google, look at go each way thieving, and you'll see how you can get an advantage with horse racing without any kind of special knowledge. Yeah? And consider third-party accounts, network. They call them gnome accounts. This is maybe when you get a friend to agree to supply you their documentation, that it's your name, their name, their address. You get a telephone, rack up a telephone number on it and start using that for the betting accounts. And of course, if you really get a little bit more advanced, then you can widen your network, grow it. It's very important to sort of build a knowledge base and have people around you that can provide information. Also, you're doing them a service, and it's just basically, it's good to know people. The more people you know, the more you'll achieve. Incorporate opinion betting. You might buy some of this information in, you might be capable of it yourself, it just depends, but by investing in the right tools, this could be pumped out, to right resources. And you can also, if you really get knowledgeable, start thinking about sports modelling. Build sports modelling systems that are a little bit more complex. Some people think they're easy, they put like unders overs in, and they think 3 or 4 factors works, but there's a little bit more to it than that. Of course, if you're advanced in betting, you'll know this, so we don't really have to discuss it. And Asian betting accounts are obviously for the real professionals. We always bet with Asian betting accounts. I will say to you, they're not particularly advantageous for value betting in terms of, the sort of stealing of odds and such. But once you start opinion betting, they're very important because you can get big money on, high liquidity, and it's possible to rape them, so to say, right? And you might want to structure your business a little bit better, get a few employees, get people doing stuff for you, maybe even do a legal setup and whatever's needed. So just consider that if you are going to the advanced system. Final notes, this is basically it. Experience is not necessary to get started. You could do it today. You could sign up to Rebel Betting, like I mentioned. That's a link in the description. Right, sign up. We'll be able to follow you and see what you're actually doing. And then in next week's video, we're going to show you how to sort of achieve it. But really, you don't need a great deal of experience to start profiting from betting. Right, do things right and you will win. I think that's a no-brainer, so to say. Right, and the do's and don'ts are all going to be in the next video. So we're going to show you how to use this software, and I'm going to show you, the little tricks out to sort of get a little bit more out of value betting, a little bit more out of the bookmakers, how to sort of stop accounts getting closed quickly, and hopefully that sort of helps you. So, as you can see, I'm saying now, thanks for watching. You're through to boot camp again. Have a look on our website, and we'll speak soon. Take care. Bye-bye.